Many of you may have joined us for this segment just 24 hours ago. However, it was a much different story as we bring you continuing coverage on the college protests that are erupting across the nation. Carlos Sanchez, who's a photographer for our partner station, Fox 7 Austin, has been charged again by Texas authorities. They claim he can be seen moving towards a DPS trooper, then lunging and striking the trooper with his camera in the lower head and neck area. We should note that the initial charges against Sanchez were dropped just yesterday. For more on this developing story, we're being joined by Ashanti Blaize-Hopkins, the president of the Society of Professional Journalists. She joins us live now. Ashanti, it's great to have you on here again. And here we are talking about this very same topic. However, 24 hours ago, it was a much different story. What is your reaction to this news today?
Well, I think it's been kind of a roller coaster really since last week. Initially, he was charged with criminal trespass and arrested, taken to jail, spent a night in jail, was released, charges dropped. Then the felony charges were charged against him, and those were dropped. And now we're looking at 2 misdemeanor charges. And I think at this point, I think it's very clear that this is a retaliation. This is intimidation. This is meant to chill and have a chilling effect for other journalists who are going to be covering this highly publicized event across the country, especially in the state of Texas. And I can't see it to be anything other than that. When they didn't have what they needed for the felony charges to go forward, they had to lower it and go after this photographer again. And I just can't see the purpose of it other than to be vindictive.
Yeah, so again, Sanchez was charged with 2 misdemeanors, assault and interference with public duties, and now we're looking at these charges as you just mentioned there. Meanwhile, Texas DPS is also quoted as saying, while journalists should be provided access, it's never acceptable to interfere with official police duties and assaulting an officer of the law, no matter the degree. That will never be tolerated, unquote. Is that what you think happened here?
Absolutely not. I think if you look at the video, I think it's clear that this photographer was holding on to his commercial grade camera. And I don't know if many of you out there have ever held one of those cameras. I have. I was a television news reporter for 12 years and was side by side with a television photojournalist. Those things weigh 15 pounds at least. So when you're carrying them around, they're on your shoulder. You have your eye in the eye scope. You can barely see what's around you, let alone be attempting to assault someone. By the way, he was live streaming this entire event. So you're telling me that someone was going to live stream as they committed a crime? It just doesn't make any sense. But I think the video speaks for itself. He did not intentionally hit anyone. There was a rush of crowd, really, because DPS was pushing forward on the protesters. And it really, to me, looks like he lost his balance and was falling into the crowd. Like I said, that camera is 15 pounds. It doesn't take much to jostle someone and have them fall forward.
Yeah, those cameras are very heavy. And of course, these charges were just announced here today, so not a ton of information quite available yet. But what else will you be looking for?
Well, what I can say is that we were able to pull together a coalition of 42 journalism organizations, media unions, and First Amendment advocacy groups to write a joint statement basically condemning these actions by the Texas Department of Public Safety and going after this photojournalist, which to us are baseless accusations that they will not let go. And we are demanding that they drop these charges immediately and make sure that all journalists in the state of Texas are able to complete their constitutionally protected job in witnessing these protests and being able to provide the public with the information that they need.
Ashanti, as always, we appreciate your time. Any final thoughts here?
I would just say, this story is going to continue to blow up across the country. And I would urge law enforcement, I would urge admissions and administrators at college education institutions to really make sure that journalists are able to do their constitutionally protected job. We are the eyes and the ears of the public, and we have to make sure that the public is informed. That in and of itself is the bedrock of our democracy. And without it, we don't have a shot.
All right, Ashanti Blaize-Hopkins, Society of Professional Journalists president, joining us here yet again on Live Now from Fox. Thank you so much, as always.
Thanks, Lexi.